And we will have Birgit Skarstein there, as you see in the centre of the course. I think the fast improver is Manuela Diening of Germany. And exciting to see really how those two duel it out at the front. But let's have a look at the whole field.
In lane 1 from Brazil, Claudia Cicero Sabino. Great shot there of the start. You can see we'll be shortly getting those boats in alignment and ready to go as we go to lane 2 from Ukraine, Anna Sheremet. She's the 2023 World Bronze Medalist. And all eyes on the Norwegian in lane 3, Birgit Skarstein. She's the reigning world champion, the reigning Paralympic champion. But as you say, Greg, she's going to have a challenge coming here from lane 4 of Germany, Manuela Diening. Bow ball of lane 5 there, belonging to the incredible Moran Samuel of Israel. And rounding out the field will be the Swiss sculler Claire Girangeli, qualifying for the Paralympic Games this week.
Yeah, that's right. You were here for those final qualifying regattas for the Paralympics and the Olympics on Tuesday. Yeah, Girangeli made it through that for Switzerland, so racing on her home water. And we had a little shot there of Birgit Skarstein in the centre. But the youngest and the oldest up in lanes 1 and 2. They're getting ready. The Brazilian sculler, age 46. Into her 5th Para Games later this year. The red light is on. The scullers still not coming forward yet. As I said, Manuela Diening, she was the quickest in qualifying. But I think Birgit Skarstein is so experienced. She tends to kind of know what she needs to do as she navigates her way through the competition. And I think we've got a problem here on the start. As you can see, that light that was on has gone off. The scullers in a kind of nervous waiting moment here. So yeah, Birgit Skarstein, as we said, she's writing her autobiography right now. Apparently she's working on that. It's going to be quite a story, I'm sure.
And the last time these scullers met was at the European Championships. Skarstein was victorious at that, and taking the silver medal was Diening of Germany in the lane next to her here.
Yeah, and on that day it was the German sculler who led, particularly in that first 500, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Skarstein making a slower start, but having a very steady pace right through the race. That was Anna Sheremet up there in lane 2, 23-year-old. She still looks very young. She's been doing this, we've been watching her since she was 17. Making the fastest start. As we look at Birgit Skarstein there, getting into that maximum length she can, using those shoulders really well at the finish. You can see the boat speeds there as we're getting up in those red buoys.
Great shot here along the water. You can see the pontoons on the boats of the PR1 single scull. But ideally, you can see they're raised off the water. You want those pontoons to be off the water to minimise any drag through the water. So fantastic balance there as we ride with Moran Samuel, getting a great shot of the PR1 boat, which of course is a fixed seat boat.
Yeah, we've got Girangeli in front of us here. She actually qualified through those European places, got that one at the European Championships. So we're looking now at Manuela Diening. So I expected her to lead Birgit Skarstein, which she is, just in this early stages, but Skarstein's right in there. You can see the distances, the graphics we're getting in the stroke rates. It's just the Brazilian with a much higher stroke rate, at 38 strokes a minute.
So a tight race here in the early stages of this race. They're coming up to the first 500-metre marker. As we get a great shot there of Manuela Diening of Germany, as I mentioned, picking up the silver medal at the European Championships. But the fastest moving boat on the course now is the Norwegian, who is looking to get back onto terms with this fast start from Moran Samuel of Israel and Manuela Diening of Germany.
Yeah, the thing that I like with Birgit Skarstein is just how you know that it's kind of really hurting her. She sculls along and she tends to look at the boat speed, she tends to look at a watch which I assume has a heart rate on it. So she's got her data, so she can very much kind of be in her boat, be in her lane, be in her mind. So she knows what she needs to do, and she's kind of always a sort of ominous presence there. And if anything, this is closer than I expected to see her, that she's actually pretty much, as you can see, barrel to barrel with the German sculler. And it's Moran Samuel, who was fourth back in Szeged at the Europeans, fourth at the World Championships. We're looking at her now. But she's the silver medalist from the Tokyo Para Games. And she's there in lane 5 with that small lead. But it's a lead which is getting smaller as we're into this second 500.
And the PR1 event is predominantly arms, shoulders and trunk. The classification for this relates to functional use of the hip joint. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a fixed seat, much like the PR2 as well. Of course, the PR3 is the only para event with a sliding seat. So you can see that these athletes have a strap generally around the hips or around their legs.
So Birgit Skarstein's making good progress here. Has now got that bow ball up in front. She hasn't had the easiest year. A couple of injuries during the winter. We're coming through the 750 mark now. She's a real presence around the boat park. In fact, around the streets of Lucerne. I've seen her come past. She's a very accomplished all-round athlete. She moves quickly in a wheelchair with the sticks up and down the streets as we make our way here to the Rotsee, where we all stay in Lucerne, down in the city. Here she is, we're seeing her accomplished sculling, getting at maximum length, really leaving those arms long for as long as she can, then using her back and shoulders. Just so good at being on the boat speed. Sarah, you talked about that balance, about trying to keep those sponsons or the pontoons or the little balance buoys clear of the water as much as possible to minimize any drag of course these boats are experiencing. The crews now coming down, we're going to see them coming down to this 1,000-meter mark where we have the boat park where the boats are stored, the landing stages are where you go out to warm up or you come in after your race. Moran Samuel here is hanging in very well with Birgit Skarstein. We can see them still now pretty much barrel to barrel.
And through the 1,000-metre mark, confirmation that Birgit Skarstein is in the lead, the Paralympic champion. A very calm race from her. Really, I think having the confidence to be able to let your competition lead you out and to be able to work through the field. But it does look like Moran Samuel, who was second through the 1,000, has just popped her bow into the front. A decisive move here from Samuel in this third 500 of the race. And third place through the 1,000 was Manuela Diening of Germany.
Yeah, well, you're right, Sarah. These two are really swapping places at the front of the field. You can see how high those buoys are off the water in Birgit Skarstein's single there, but it's a big move that's been made by Moran Samuel. As you say, they were barrel to barrel through the halfway, through that 1,000. Now they're coming past that boat park, they're coming past the area where their coaches will be. We're having a look at Manuela Diening. As we said, she got silver medal at the European Championships just 4 weeks ago at Szeged. She was just 3 seconds behind the Norwegian sculler Birgit Skarstein on that occasion. Moran Samuel, you can see, is still the fastest crew on the water. It's 300 meters now that they've done since coming through barrel to barrel at that 1,000. It's a sustained move. She is still the fastest moving boat on the water. And that gap's out now, as you can see, it to 4 meters, which is more than half a length.
Wow, what a move here from Moran Samuel. A perfectly timed race. I thought that Skarstein was going to take it, but a really decisive effort here from Samuel. And in fact, the Paralympic champion now under threat from the German, from Manuela Diening.
Yeah, well, it's interesting whether Manuela Diening is using different tactics to what she used at those European Championships, where actually, rather than leading out, she's worked out, she knows the exact distance we've got here, of course, but these are flat, calm conditions. It was very far from flat, calm conditions in Szeged for those European Championships 4 weeks ago. And now we're looking at Manuela Diening, and she is really taking it to Skarstein as well. And you can see those positions for yourself. Looking in the bottom left-hand corner, it is the Israeli sculler, Moran Samuel, with the lead, but Manuela Diening has pulled up level with Birgit Skarstein.
And we see here the Israeli sculler in the lead. We can see why. She is a Paralympic silver medalist from Tokyo, Paralympic bronze medalist from Rio, and world champion from 2015. This field has been racing each other. Certainly Birgit and Moran have been racing each other for many, many years. But look at Diening coming through. This is an absolutely incredible row from her. She was leading in the early stages, and now is she going to come back through Moran Samuel?
Well, here we go. We did watch this race a year ago. There was a demonstration on the Lake of the Gods, the Rotsee, here in Lucerne. And it was one of the few races that Birgit Skarstein didn't win. But in some ways it was a race that perhaps didn't feel like it matters. Today it does matter. This is the World Cup. This is World Cup 2 in Lucerne. And Birgit Skarstein, as you can see it from the graphic, 5 meters behind the leaders, who are more or less coming up to level. And it is, you can see that Manuela Diening has got that bow ball in front, and she now has a lead over Moran Samuel. And it looks like she could have timed this perfectly into the red buoys now. You can see we're coming down 200 meters to go, and Manuela Diening is moving away from the field.
Wow, Manuela Diening, she was the early race leader, but got dropped off the pace through the middle. But was she saving this sprint for the end? You can see the pain on her face. She's absolutely throwing everything at it here. She's back in the lead. Moran Samuel off to her left, sitting in second place. The Paralympic champion, Birgit Skarstein, sitting in the bronze medal position.
Well, this is a fantastically timed race by the German sculler Diening here. You can see she has half a length on Moran Samuel and a huge amount of clear water on Birgit Skarstein. Today is not going to be Skarstein's day. Normally we're used to seeing her time her run, to come through in the second half of the race. Today that is not going to happen here on the Rotsee.
Coming down to the line, they're sprinting, they're going up again. It's neck and neck here. Diening is just going to get there ahead of Moran Samuel from Israel. Third place will be the Paralympic and world champion Birgit Skarstein. And coming down to the line now, the world bronze medalist from last year, Anna Sheramet, will come in fourth place, pushed off the podium. What a year Manuela Diening is having.
Well, Manuela Diening is learning all the time how to race in this PR1 single. She has obviously gone away prepared really well, as we see Anna Sheramet there coming across the line for Ukraine. Moran Samuel we're seeing, who took it on in that third quarter, but the fourth quarter was all about Manuela Diening, with a fantastic scull to come through. As we're seeing the home favourite, Claire Gerengeli, is catching a little bit of the wake from that camera launch, just coming across the line now. But a fantastic scull from the German, 5th placed at last year's World Championships. As we're seeing Birgit Skarstein, as I say, we're not used to seeing her anywhere apart from first. Confirmation there, you see the world champion in 3rd place, Birgit Skarstein, behind Moran Samuel, and the winner, Manuela Diening of Germany.
Die Schweizer Paraplyger spielt engagiert sich